Yay! It's time! It's time for part 2. And if you haven't listened to part 1, what are you doing here? Go and listen to part 1 first, because this will make no sense, and I'm not doing a recap because I'm lazy. Hello! It's Who from Alibi and Miohn-Rouls. Shit is continuing to hit the fan, but before we get to that, how about I get my players to reintroduce themselves and their players? I mean, their characters.
Alright.
Who's the player?
Hello everyone, I am Cartoon Kitsune, and I will be playing Ida Sliff, who is an XP of Maya Faye.
And I'm Samurai, and I'll be playing Griffin Left, who is a XP of Phoenix Wright.
Yay! And I will, again, put up the art, because there may be people who have forgotten what these guys look like, which is very like some pre-existing characters, but you know, this is complete coincidence. It's definitely, not those other people that you're thinking of. And if we accidentally say their names instead, that's just the space-time continuum. So you'll just have to live with that. Okay, so last time, which was not last week, it was quite a lot of weeks ago, but you're very patient, you guys managed to deduce what Alibi's actual alibi was. And it's a bummer, it's a real bummer, because it's not something that's really provable in court, even if it's like kind of barn door obvious. The legal system is such that it's a bitch, and it's like, yeah, it's still not quite provable. So you basically are going to have to go and do something which lawyers don't usually have to do, but in this world somehow happens very frequently. Find out who actually did it. So, I mean, where would you go? I mean, there was a place that you weren't allowed to go last time, so you might want to go there. I'm not saying you have to go there, but you might want to go there.
I mean, we could go back to the inn, we could... No, it's not.
We could just hang around the casino for a few hours.
You could.
I think we're gonna head to the temple, right?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you remember the drill. The courtyard is up a lot of steps, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna roll athletics. Let's see how bad you do. I will say that you at least stopped at the inn and had lunch, because, like, that was all morning. You just did a lot of footwork already.
Absolutely.
You guys want to describe that? You want to tell me how that goes? In your own words.
So many stairs.
Actually, there's not as many stairs as I was remembering. Last time it seemed like a lot, but this time, I don't know. Anyway, you alright?
Speak for yourself, Griff.
Cute.
Alright, yeah.
Yeah, you drag Ida's corpse up the last remaining stairs and come upon the temple. And again, it's a lovely day. You didn't have to, at least, you know, fight against the elements to get up here. There's even a lovely lens flare on this free use photograph that I've applied a hideous filter to, so that's how nice it is. And there's someone there to greet you. Who was there to greet you last time? Oh well, here they are in here. Oh, they were actually gonna try.
Hi again. We were hoping to, you know, look around the crime scene now, because we're the accused lawyers, and
look around the crime scene like it's gonna make a difference. Yeah, sure, fine. I mean, it's your funeral, mate. You want to roll insight on this jerkhead?
Well, actually, about that, we would like to know whose funeral it is. No one's told us yet.
Oh, wow, you are very unprepared. Alright, I feel a bit bad for you, actually. So, okay, fine. Like, you really don't know who been done in, do you?
No.
We kind of haven't been told, so...
Alright, well... And I'm just spinning my wheels while you roll insight. There it is! Griffin left with that 12. You're still optimistic, and, you've just defeated the stairs, and you're feeling full of vim and vigor, and you're just like, you're itching to get your teeth into this case. You are slightly deflated and exhausted, and you can tell that this guy already thinks, or rather has proof, he thinks, that you guys haven't got a chance, like a snowball's chance in hell of winning this. So presumably they have found some shit on Alibi. Or rather to imply that Alibi's done it. Okay, well, alright. Here's the first thing, the stiff. Yeah, okay. Well, it was murder. It was a real kind monk. It was Mr. Shib Ito. He was struck with a blunt object and killed. I know it's pretty rare that actually being killed. I mean, us Toons kind of bounce back from all that stuff, but not this fella. Oof. Anyway, we assume that it was a spontaneous attack when the thief was caught in the act of stealing the Eye of Truth. I'm assuming that Griffin is fervently writing all of this down, as you two probably are.
Yes.
Don't worry, I can copy-paste this stuff, and I will send you all the notes that you've discovered after the game, so don't worry about it too much.
Pretty awesome, thanks.
He's twirling his truncheon and looking just outrageously smug about all of this.
Right. How come you guys are so sure that Mr. Miohn-Rouls is the one and who did it?
Oh, well, we've got a witness, haven't we? Two, actually.
And who would they be?
Oh, well, I'm not allowed to tell you that. I'm not allowed to tell you that at all. That is confidential.
We're gonna find out for tomorrow. They'll be there.
Roll persuasion, and it had better be good. Because this is it. This is confidential material.
Can I throw guidance on that?
Yeah.
What's your persuasion mod? I've got a +5.
Ooh.
I got a +9.
Oh my goodness.
Alright, I'll give you guidance then.
I said good. Blimey, I may have strung myself a noose here, but
Added you
probably
that.
I could probably give you something if you do really well. Here it comes. Oh, 19's pretty
and then
good.
you can add D4.
20.
Dirty
20.
20.
Dirty 20. Are we happy with the dirty 20?
I mean, it's not the worst.
Not the worst.
It's
okay.
pretty decent.
Okay. Griffin Left, how do you persuade this little guy? I'm trying to avoid calling him a shit, but really, yes.
Okay. Look, we're in a really bad position here. You seem to think you have all this evidence on our client, and we need something so that we don't just completely embarrass ourselves in court. Can you just tell us who the witnesses are, so that we can maybe talk to them and just...
To your enormous surprise, after, some more sort of confident head waggling, the spinning of the truncheon slows, and he actually looks a bit sympathetic, like a bit guilty, because you're in such trouble. Like, man, he better just give you something. Oh, well, fine, alright. Well, I'm not allowed to say, but I heard that maybe someone around here with a lot of influence happened to see something. Someone mighty tall, I will say that. She is very tall.
Oh, yeah, we heard about,
Yeah.
No names. I didn't say nothing and you didn't hear nothing from me, or I will get in trouble. And I don't want to get in trouble.
He gives me like a little, yep, we didn't hear anything.
Thank you. Well, have you got any further inquiries that I may answer?
Can you tell us how the victim was killed?
Oh, he did.
Weapon.
He got
He mentioned
walloped
that
over
it
the
was
head,
the,
didn't he? He got a lamp one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like bonk.
Alright,
You know
yeah.
what a bonk is? Like direct on the dome, innit?
Right.
Wig split.
Don't suppose you have an autopsy report or anything?
A what? An autopsy? A topsy horse? I mean, there's one in the stable down there. I've seen it when I put away my my pogo stick, but I don't know what an oxytorse is. What?
An autopsy. It's what the coroner examines the body and
The coroner
makes an official document of how they died. And
coroner
it's called an
observes
autopsy.
the body? What coroner?
The coroner, the doctor who works for the police.
Corona? And that something makes you sick?
No,
You sure about that?
an autopsy report is a vital piece of evidence. Without it, like, you can't even prove it was a murder, really.
Well, you say you've got a vital piece of evidence that the police, ain't got. Oi, give it over.
No, I'm asking
Give
you
it here.
for it.
I want you to roll dex. I want you to roll dex. Can you dodge the truncheon in time? 19, yes you can. Fortunately, this very intelligent police person is rather short, so you manage to literally jump over his swing, but he looks rather steamed as he spins around to compensate for the missed blow, and his hat gets screwed down over his eyes.
We don't have the autopsy report because it's your job to make the autopsy report.
Well, I ain't never heard of it, so it ain't my job anyway. You can ask the detective, she's down there.
Okay.
Right.
You'll be talking about all that foreign six stuff and all. Well, anyway, it's not my bag, is it? Is there anything else you'd like to ask this very helpful individual before you move on? I mean, like, you don't have to. I'm just offering.
I got one question. So do they know what time the murder took place?
Oh, well, what did they say it was? And he flips through, like, what appears to be, like, a really tiny notebook. Like, it's really small, but it has, like, an infinite number of pages. And as it flips past you upside down, you can clearly see that this Toon has been actually making a little flip animation in the corner. It's just him hitting a villain over the head repeatedly and then standing on them like, woohoo, I did it. It's very, very childish and just lovely.
Aww.
Well, time of death is thought to be between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m, but it could have been a bit earlier, but they're pretty sure it's 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. between them. Yeah, okay, good job, mate.
It's
Yeah.
still, like, Griffin is still stewing, and it's like, you know what's really good for determining a time of death? An autopsy report.
Well, I will find a topsy horse if I can, but I doubt that it would be much good with its hooves all over the crime scene. Have you ever seen a horse in a hospital? It is a mess. Not advised.
Ida just like takes Griffin by the arm, leads him away, like just let it go, Griff, just let it go.
All right, sorry.
Well, as long as you ain't mucking about, you should be able to just, walk around and have a look. We've taken lots of photographs and written stuff down, and we were very professional, especially because we hadn't had much experience, but we was very professional. And he repeats this and, sort of does a little pose with his hands on his hips, and you get the distinct, dreadful sensation in the pit of your stomachs that somehow this is not true.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna find out about that.
Right, so
Mm-hmm.
can we go in and see if we can find the detective in the crime scene?
Yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, you walk into the good part of the good part, like the official part of the temple, and through the courtyard. It's a very beautiful place. It seems to be very old. As some people may know, things over like 200 years old here don't really exist. This thing looks like it's not quite 200 years old, but probably close, like maybe 150. Everything's made out of wood or stone, and it's extremely well catered for, like everyone who is a monk here really takes care of the place, and the gardens are just beautiful. There's some of those Zen pebble stone gardens as you walk through, and it's very, very quiet. Like, you get the impression that ordinarily it would be quiet, but there's a certain, a keening sadness because they have lost someone, and you only pass people in the distance, really, but yeah, there's a feeling of sorrow around here. And eventually you come to the temple gardens, where the inner sanctum is in the centre of this really rather lovely pond that you can see here. And there's someone here. She's standing basically in front of that building, and you definitely recognise her because you identified her last time. This is Ushi-Oni, and she is the high priestess of this order. And yeah, she's kind of a big deal. She's been here for quite a long time. And yeah, that's the setting. What would you like to do?
I guess we can go talk to her, right?
You can.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Ida will go up to her and kind of get her attention. And pardon me, Priestess Oni, right?
Maybe.
Ida will kind of fold her hands and bow to her respectfully. Hi there, I'm Ida Sliff. I was originally here for meditation training, but currently I'm helping my friend Griff here with the case that's going on. But it's an honor to meet you, ma'am.
And
Yeah.
she looks at you very hard, Ida, and then listens to Griffin left, who was about to say something. I'm very sorry.
Oh, sorry, I can. Yeah, hi. We're Mr. Miohn-Rouls lawyers. I see that badge. We were hoping to ask you a few questions.
Ah, I see. And she does appear to see. She looks at you both very hard, and it's actually a bit unnerving because she's about 8 foot tall. She is very tall. And you're basically clouded in the shadow of this priestess. And, she doesn't come across as scary, but she's imposing. And the way she looks at you, you really do both feel like she is looking straight into you. Like she somehow knows everything you've ever done just by looking at you. She's kind of like that teacher that could do that to you at school. I don't know if either of you had one of those. But she stands up again after sort of leaning down and says, "Well, I have sworn to play my part in court, so I cannot tell you everything, but I will tell you only the truth."
All right. That's I mean, if that's true, you're head and shoulders above pretty much every witness we've ever had, so that's nice. So, can you tell us what you saw on the night of the crime?
What an unfortunate question to start with. I have made a solemn oath to the prosecution that I will not divulge such information before the due time. However, again, I will tell nothing but the truth on the stand, for it is our way.
There's nothing you can tell us about it at all?
Ah, I did not say that, Ida.
Okay. Can you tell us why? Can you tell us if you saw or think you saw Mr. Miohn-Rouls?
She thinks very deeply about this for a second, and you get the strong impression that this is someone who's not to be hurried. She doesn't use more words than are necessary, and she will take as much time as she wants. And in the meantime, it's kind of nice. Like, there's a sort of whistling wind and, the clunk of one of those bamboo shoot water feature things. I can never remember what they're called. But, yeah, she comes to after this thought and says, Unfortunate though it may be for the accused, I do believe that your client was the cause of Mr. Ito's death, though I do not think it was a murder.
You think it's manslaughter or something?
Or some kind of accident?
Arguably both. I can tell you many things of this place, and of course of the victim, but again, what I can say about the events that transpired are limited.
Okay.
I guess we can start with that. What can you tell us about Mr. Ito?
Shib Ito. And she looks quite sad at this. He was a diligent, quiet monk who had been with the order for 20 years. As such, he was trusted enough to take guard duty of the Eye, and last night it was his turn to watch over it. And at this point, from her sleeve, she has very copious sleeves, as you can see. This is where she keeps her hammer space, in fact, because for all she's very grave, this is in fact a toon. She's animated in a very traditional way, though. I haven't rendered it very well. But she looks rather like illustrations from a Japanese scroll, say, executed in chalk and ink. And she hands Ida a photograph of the deceased, who was from a group of Azure men who was cheerful but had decided that their way was not for him. Oh.
Okay.
You're right there.
Oh shoot, I'm sorry, did that pick up? I'm sorry about that.
It's okay, I was like, what? Huh? Who? It's alright.
Yeah, no,
we get
sorry,
to break
someone was
reality
talking to me,
sometimes.
sorry.
No, it's fine. Little things like this are actually quite fun for me because it reminds the listeners that we three are in three completely different places, probably like, you know, miles apart, and somehow, by the magic of technology, we're here playing D&D, which I think is really very charming.
Technology is wild, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so sorry about that. You were saying, so yeah, he's part of a group. Yeah.
He was part of a group of Azure men, which may be understood by some people, but had decided that their way was not in keeping with what he wanted his life to be anymore, and had joined the Order and been a very successful addition to it.
All right. And he said he was assigned to guard the Eye. Can you tell us where that's kept?
Behind me, you may see a building. In the lower section is the inner sanctum, which is where the Eye of Truth, a sacred relic, was kept.
Right, and the Eye is, it makes it so that nobody can lie around here, right?
So it appears to have become. It has become imbued with the power of truth. Over many years, this object has been charged with the thoughts and prayers of my order, which worships truth. No god, no demons, only veracity. As a consequence, the relic has absorbed, it appears, the essence of truth, and casts a large zone of it over the whole of the village of Hontani. However, after its theft, this appears not to be so.
That's interesting to me. Wouldn't that is some reason why if the eye was moved, it wouldn't have its effect anymore, or would that suggest that the eye has been removed from the vicinity somehow?
She tilts her very copiously large head to one side, and this appears to be something that she has been thinking about. And she shakes her head slowly and says, I do not possess the truth that you seek. I have contemplated it myself for many hours. I would like you both to roll insight on this, babe. because you've been talking to her for a while. Also, sorry that her voice is so slow, but that's what she's like.
It's all good. Oh no, not one.
Oh no!
Oh.
Oh, poor Ida. Oh wow, these are bad.
Oh, two.
Yeah,
Oh man.
impressive. So I think you're kind of mesmerized and a little bit terrified of this very sincere Toon. And because of that, you can't really bring yourself to read her. You just accept everything she's saying and don't try to, you're trying not to invade what's going on in her head in a weird sort of way. You're not trying to suppose anything, and that's to your detriment because you have no idea really of the undercurrents that are happening here.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything further that I may assist you with? I believe that you either are of a similar religious order or at least of spiritual affluence.
Yes, ma'am, that I am. I thought, though my religion is Quiranism, and of course I'm a spirit medium, and mine's more associated around death and building a bridge between the worlds of the living and the dead.
Ah, yes, Quiranism, I recall. Well, I will advise you, in your capacity as such, not to be too disappointed if your talents do not work in this case.
Yeah, I was wondering about that because, I mean, usually I don't channel the victim unless I absolutely have to. Usually because it kind of counts as inadmissible evidence depending on the court. But why do you think I won't be able to channel them?
I do not know that it will not work for certain. We could try. You have his true name and his face, do you not?
Yeah, I do have that now. Now that I have the picture. I mean, out of character, like, do we want to try doing this right now, or?
Entirely up to you guys.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to. I don't.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, are there any preparations that your character would make for this?
Not a whole lot. Pretty much, it's just pretty much like saying the right words and then doing the right kind of hand signs.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let me find the right words for this. All right. Okay, so Ida starts out kind of doing these hand signs, and she has both of her hands sort of pressed to her temple as she's sort of focusing her spiritual energy, and she says, sorry, what's the name of the guy again? I know the last name is Ito.
Oh, it's fine. I'll write it down for you. It's Shib Ito.
Thank you. Shin Ito. All right. O spirit of Shin Ito, slumbering in the twilight realm, return now to the world of the living. And as she clasps her hands together in a prayer pose with two of her fingers pointing towards the sky. And normally, if this would work, there would be sort of a bright flash of light.
Mm-hmm.
And when the light dissipates, she would be channeling the spirit of the deceased. But whether that works or not is up to you. So.
It definitely is. I would like you to make a con save.
All right, con save. All right.
16.
16, not bad.
Not bad at all. You do everything right, and it really should have worked, which is why, when it doesn't, and you feel your call replied to with a vacuum, you feel quite sick. You aren't totally knocked off your feet, but you go very pale, and you feel quite wobbly. It's like you've gone hollow.
Yeah, she probably stumbles around. Griff might need to catch her before she topples over.
Yeah. Ida, are you all right? What happened?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I did that right. Oh, what was that? It's like I called out to him, but nobody picked up the phone.
It is as I feared. I am very sorry to have put you through it, but curiosity does demand an answer.
So
You know why that didn't work?
why?
Well, I have thoughts, but no proof. So, I will say that my suspicions were thus because I tried to resurrect my friend, and I similarly did not succeed.
I'm sorry. You, resurrect?
Oh,
You
it is.
can
It is quite a common magic as long as you have the diamonds. One can bring back someone from the other side.
Oh, I know that spell too. The only thing is that it has to be about a minute before. If a minute passes after they die, then that's too much time.
Indeed, I was apparently too late.
Okay. That I didn't know that. That's incredible. That's amazing. That's changing my worldview.
I'm just going to roll something, and I really hope it's not too bad for you, Griff. Oh dear, oh no. She gives you a big pat on the shoulder, and it's meant to be very calming and comforting, but she's huge, and she's really fucking strong. And with a 23, I'm afraid you're going to take 5 bludgeoning damage from very well-meaning, slightly unaware of this priestess, I'm afraid. Sorry about that.
Take 5 points of comfort damage.
Yeah, it's 5 points of comfort damage.
Griffin pretty much just stumbles over.
Yeah. I will be merciful and say that you do not fall into the water. However, yes, the consequence of this conversation is basically something's up with this death, and quite what is completely unknown. But you can tell just from the look on her face that she's worried about this.
Mm-hmm.
So, the failure of the resurrection, could that have been due to something about the manner of the death, or? I mean, if it was just some sort of like accident, like blunt force trauma, it doesn't sound like that would do anything in particular. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
this
more.
sounds more like some kind of magical thing, like someone's, I don't know, interfering to make sure he stays dead.
Her head almost nods, but she's so measured. She's constantly checking what she thinks and what she says. And as you've heard, like, her entire religion is based around truth, and she doesn't want to give you an inaccuracy. So she eventually says, "Ordinarily, crimes are never committed in Hontoni. My suspicion is that something which is immune to the influences of our order may have been responsible. However, again, my evidence is lacking. All I have are my thoughts."
Have you? I know you said crimes don't normally take place here, but have you tried to use that spell on anyone who had like an accidental death in the past? Like, has it worked in the past here?
Oh yes, I used to go on dungeon crawls.
You went on dungeon crawls?
Well, we all had a youth. And for once, she has a tiny smile on her face. You think this girl has a bigger history than she's letting on.
Ooh.
My
It
apologies.
does not know what that history is, but it's immediately, like, just so cool to her.
My apologies. I have taken much of your time, and I believe I must return to my duties, if you will permit.
Oh, of course, and thank you so much for talking to us, and we'll do another polite bow to her.
Similarly, she bows back, and she bows to Griffin, And she has kept giving you both very shrewd looks, and she would not, I will tell you for free, have told you everything she did if she thought you two were just, in this for the money. She has been constantly looking at you and trying to decide what your, calling is, and she has decided, I would think accurately, that you're pretty cool people.
Hey, nice.
We probably can't read any of that because of our terrible insight rolls, but it's nice to know.
Well, yeah, again, she drifts off in this very aloof manner, and you have no idea about this. You think she's kind of scary, and maybe a bit, interesting, but, you don't know. You don't know this. But the audience, as the lady is walking away from the camera, does get the sort of twinkle of the eye of this high priestess who drifts off into the other places that there are, which I have not drawn. Okay, you're alone in the garden. You want to investigate the garden?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Sorry, you may have to scroll back up to that picture. I didn't tag it. I didn't pin it, rather. I can do that, though.
It's all good, I can find it, yeah.
Oh.
It's not too far back.
But we should do this in the proper D&D way. If you would like to perceive or investigate or do something else, you can tell me.
Alright. I'll do an investigation, and if I may be permitted, I'll add guidance to mine.
You may.
Alright.
I'll also do an investigation because I'm better at that.
Or 7.
Definitely gonna need that. Alright, that's a 10 for me.
Yeah. You don't fall in the water. Ah! Okay. That's slightly better. Okay, Ida, you're not very successful, but would you describe what Ida is doing? Because I love this character.
Of course. She's just kind of poking around the bushes, and I think at one point she just kind of zones out because it's just so zen here, and she just loves to meditate by the water. She just kind of she's just kind of zoning out with how peaceful it is.
Aw. You're also probably recovering from that unsuccessful channeling, which it did throw you for a loop. It was not
that
nice.
Too. Yeah. Honestly, she's probably just doing a sit for a little bit, just kind of letting her head clear.
Ida does a big city. Griffin, what is your technique for investigating the area?
Griffin just sort of doesn't move. He stands in one place and looks at various parts of the room in turn, and occasionally just says something a couple of lines to himself, and doesn't walk because this isn't science price. This is he doesn't get to move around.
In fact, your stillness is a very good tactic, because this is, while a very peaceful place, as in many Zen gardens, it's constantly moving, and you've got these lovely pine trees surrounding, and they're constantly rustling gently, and plants. There's some koi carp swimming around, but there's one area of the pond which the fish don't like going to for some reason, and you think this is a bit odd in itself because it's quite nice and shady. It's to the right underneath that pine tree, and just because you're looking in that direction, there's a colour there that doesn't seem to be natural, especially considering it's in the water and partly jutting out of it.
Yeah, there sure is.
Mm-hmm.
So you see that. I will not tell you what it is. You have to figure out how to get it out.
Ida, what do you think that red thing over there is?
Oh, sorry, I kind of zoned out there. I don't know. I wonder if I can get it. And Ida's gonna take out a quarterstaff, and she's gonna try and use that to get at whatever's in the water without falling in.
Okay, I would like you to make a dexterity throw or something related. You can persuade me if there's another one you would like to use.
Could I, by just sort of, sorry.
You can assist. Yeah, you can
Okay,
give her
I'm trying
advantage.
to think of which stat.
Yeah, I just
nice.
really want to steady Ida if possible.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, I think maybe just like a straight dex check would probably make sense. Either that,
Okay, you
yeah, I
reach
think the
out.
straight dex would
You're
work.
slightly wobbly, but because Griffin is holding your hand, you
Alright.
have advantage.
Alright.
Oh, 17 is pretty good. Oh,
Okay, 19.
19. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. Fortunately, neither of
Alright.
them were so bad that, yeah, you were in danger of falling in. You manage to
That's good.
hook the end of your quarterstaff underneath whatever it is. And it seemed to be quite easy to get part of it so that you could, like, stick the stick through, which is nice. And you ease it back in, and it's quite hard because, you know, the lever is not to your advantage, but eventually, with a sort of mighty gurgle, you pull out this item.
Oh.
What do you think it is? I wonder
Wow,
what it
Griff,
is.
wow, Griff, there was a ladder in the water.
Oh yeah, it's a stepladder.
What is it? Wait, is there a difference?
Yeah, stepladders are the ones where it, you know, has the two parts like that, I think, right?
Well, whatever
I
it
guess,
is.
but
yes.
I don't really think there's that much of a difference. You really need to stop judging things based on narrow-minded cultural assumptions, Griff.
There it is.
I mean,
there's the line.
But they're different objects.
I would like to give you both
We
an
did it,
inspiration
guys.
point. Inspiration point because you actually got the lines.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of you. Well done. Okay. So yes, you have successfully found a ladder or a step ladder, depending on who you are and what your definition of said thing is. It's a very strange place for you to have found it, but that's what you have found. I will also say, because Griffin, your roll was very good. You notice like the entryway of the inner sanctum, which is back there. There may be some stuff like around the entrance that you want to have a look at, but like the primary piece of interest right now is the fact that you found this in the pond, which it doesn't seem like a normal place to keep this thing.
Yeah. Okay, so why is there a step ladder here? Sorry.
Maybe
Someone trying to get.
maybe the koi were trying to climb out of the pond.
That was a bad time to take a drink.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
They don't have
All right,
legs.
bud.
How would they use a ladder?
Yeah, true.
Like a turtle in there, maybe.
In fact, you do see a terrapin serenely swimming by.
I guess maybe someone was trying to hide it in there, or maybe it fell in by mistake.
Yeah, I mean, would it have been used to get to the second floor of the shrine? The inner. What's the building called?
Inner sanctum, yeah.
Would you like
Inner
to
sanctum,
set it
yeah,
up and
sorry.
see how tall the stepladder is?
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you for taking the right side of what that object is.
Yeah. Sorry. Oh no, my bias is showing. It's a stepladder. Okay, you set it up, and it is not tall enough to reach the second story at all. It is about as tall, on the top bit as you are, Griff. It's like the top part. The top part that one could stand on is, about shoulder height. It's really not tall enough to do that.
Ah.
Perfect for changing light bulbs, but maybe not a lot else.
So they doesn't look like they could have used it to get all the way up there, but still kind of strange that it was left in the pond like that.
Yeah.
Can I roll an investigation to see if there are any drag marks on the floor? I don't know how big this thing is. If they would be able to carry it under one arm or drag it. But
Absolutely,
I just
you
wanna look.
can have a look, and this may in fact tie in to the entrance of the inner sanctum, which I will provide you with a photograph of when I found it. But yes, please roll investigation before I post it.
Yes.
Ah,
17, nice.
Yeah, that'll do it. So you have a look around, and you can't find any drag marks. But in front of the entrance to the temple, you find a complete mess. Like, this is the top step, and you can tell, like, everything around here has been spick and span, really carefully tended for, and you suspect, though you haven't taken footprint samples, that the police have not been very careful at preserving crime evidence of a footstep kind. So this is what you see.
Oh, what? They messed it all up.
Oh my. Listen. Normally when the police are kind of incompetent, it benefits us. This is annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, jeez.
At this point, I'd like to ask, which one of you kept hold of that stone of seeing?
Ida has
Ida.
that, right?
Yeah, Ida has that.
Okay.
Ida, sorry.
It's okay. I
Alright.
mean, I like both versions of the name. I know two people with both versions, and it gets very confusing, especially when they're together.
Right.
Anyway, you, Ida, feel that same sort of funny, sort of slightly warm glow sensation happening in the pocket that you've put that stone into.
Oh, right, the stone. I almost forgot about it. And she'll pull it out and she'll look through the little hole.
You do that! And I had a feeling you'd forget, so that was why I reminded you. And lo and behold, as you look through it, you can see this.
Whoa, it's the ladder.
Where?
It's
The stone. Sorry.
Yeah, it's set up right in front of the door. Take a look. And she'll let him look through the hole as well.
Huh. What's the... Does it reach, like, the top of the door frame?
No. It remains, as I said before, at shoulder height. And weirdly, there isn't even, like, a light bulb above this entryway underneath that little canvas. It's very strange. There doesn't appear to be any point of having put a ladder here.
Question. How far away from, like, the edge of the water is, like, this little doorstep? Here's what I'm wondering. If, like, maybe if it was blocking the door, like, somebody ran up the stairs, ran into it, and, like, that caused it to fall in the water. Like, they didn't see the stepladder because it was blocking the door.
That is a very good deduction. And, yeah, you think that is a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's a little bit sneaky. This is a little bit sneaky in case you don't see it. I would like you both to roll like an insight or investigation or a perception. It's like one of those three.
I'll do an insight because my mod's better for that. So.
That'll be an investigation, because...
Oh, wow.
Whoa,
Okay,
yeah, baby!
Hey,
Matching
nice.
25.
We both got 25s.
But, like, I have to say, Griffin, you got a nat 20, so, whoo! It's very impressive. You both have an absolute, like, despite there being no light bulb, you have a light bulb moment, and you sit there kind of going tick, 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 bing, and it's like a scene from a different video game where you figured out the answer to a puzzle. You see that, you know, in the past, there isn't all this mess all over the place, and there isn't any mess somewhere where one might expect there to be, because before one enters this temple, which is made of stone, you do end up walking across dirt. It's like a dirt path, which is a little bit foolish, frankly. And the steps leading into the inner sanctum have no mud on them, even though the stepladder left mud on the top step. There are no footprints leading down into the place.
So someone cleaned all of the steps except for the top one.
That, or whoever went in there last night went in through the windows or something, but yeah. Or, actually, wait. How big is the patch of mud? They couldn't have used the ladder to get over the mud, could they have?
I want Griffin to try. I want you to, like, enact this little experiment for me.
Yeah, we've established he'll do that.
Okay,
he went on a roof last time. He'll do that.
Okay, you can roll Dex or Acrobatics or even Athletics if you really want to.
Okay.
Sometimes you just have to try a thing out.
Athletics is +4. Okay, athletics is +4. That's the best of those.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he certainly.
Can I offer a
can't do that.
guidance to like make that a little less terrible?
You can, but it's funny as hell. It's up to you.
Well,
Whatever you want, Sam.
It's still going to be bad.
no, I'm considering half. I want to use one of my luck points, but
It's I mean, it's up to you, man. But like, the point will be proven.
Nah.
Oh, nah, yeah, like
just 8.
an 8.
Right.
It's an 8. Let's face it, guys. That's an 8. And if you observe this particular
Yeah.
model of ladder and/or step ladder, you will notice that there are only steps on one side of it. So, Griffin, you go top to top to top, up to the top, and then you try and like swing your leg over it, like on a style, like a countryside fence that you're going over, and then you realise that it was not built to do this, and it overbalances, and you fall down the stairs into the inner sanctum. And at this point, we're going to go for a break. Yes. I think this game is actually going to end up being quite a lot shorter than the other because I kind of want to keep it to the investigation. It just feels tidy. We'll do the court proceedings like next game. I feel like that would be more natural. So,
Yeah, that seems fitting.
5-minute break. Hopefully Griffin hasn't broken anything, and we'll see you in a bit.
Right.
Oh, this is so good already. You guys are wonderful.
Hey man, Ida does have healing spells, so if you did take damage
It might be
between this and the 5 points of comfort damage.
Well,
Yep.
at least you can't mess up the crime scene anymore.
Griffin,
The police already
never-
have. Right, I'm just gonna
Is that
stretch
a
my
challenge?
Ugh, back in a moment. We'll be right back.
Alright.
In fact, we are right back. How are you guys? Do you need to have longer? For a break?
I'm pretty good to go.
Yeah, Sam, how you doing, girl?
I'm ready to go.
Cool. Okay. In that case, we shall crash on. I do apologize
back
if
to
this
the
game
city.
ends up being like 2 hours or less even. You guys are like storming through this. I swear. You guys are like the most efficient D&D players I've ever had. It's incredible.
Listen, we got a lot of practice in the Bash server because we do a lot of investigations.
You sure do. Wow. Okay.
And both of us play like detective boys.
Yeah.
I got
we
Leighton
love
and
the
Sam
detective.
has Edgy or K, so
I really want to listen to some games. I really do. You may have to like give me a link at some point so I can listen in. Okay. Bash propaganda done. We're back. We're back, baby. I think we're gonna do the classic. Griffin, you have a blacked out screen. Let's roll Constitution to see how well you come to. Because you just beefed it
what's
down the
that?
stairs.
Just Constitution or a con save? Never mind. It's the same.
Oh, con save. Yeah, con save.
Yeah.
Thing happened to you. You roll save. Oh my goodness! I need to plug in my
Oh, yeah.
computer. It's
Oh,
almost
wow.
out of battery.
That's
That was
embarrassing.
scary.
it's fine.
21. Fine. Okay, you have a bonkers of the conkers, but not too much else wrong with you. Like, you come to and you've got one of those cartoonish swellings, you know, like an egg lump on your head. And you blearily come to in this subterranean sort of place. You remember the outside, like, there's plenty of water. You had to cross a bridge to get to the inner garden. And this is the inner sanctum. The floor is wet. It's not like covered in water. It's not like a swimming pool or anything. But yeah, it's pretty slippery and slidey in here. And you feel pretty dizzy. And then you have something leaning down in your face saying, "Oh my god, what is wrong with you? You know what stairs are?
Hi.
Hi. What kind of name is Hi? Who are you?
Hi, I'm Griffin Left.
Well, I'm
oh,
the
oh my
detective.
God.
I
Oh
didn't
my
give you
God.
permission
Oh my
to come down here. Who are you?
I'm the lawyer. I'm the defense lawyer. I have a badge.
She gets out a comically large magnifying glass and holds it over your badge and says, it's red. What is that, Ruby? It's a tacky.
Hey, it's a good badge.
Meanwhile, Ida, are you coming down the stairs to join in with this?
Yeah, I was gonna say, just let me know. I can like just come running down the stairs.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, Griff, are you okay?
Yep, you make it.
Yeah, I'm okay.
You make it down the stairs without falling over. I'm not going to be mean to you.
Right.
So, this is BMP, aka Bumpy Matter Princess, and she is presently a detective! And she looks extremely upset that there are people, like, all up in her mess.
Sorry for all the trouble, detective. Griff here kind of fell down the stairs.
Yeah, I saw. It was hilarious.
Ow. So, you're the detective. Okay, you're the detective. So, is this the crime scene, or is the crime scene a little further on? What's going on here?
It was almost like crime scene again. You almost died. Well, anyway. Yeah, this is a crime scene. Welcome to my digs. The thing is a crime scene, but there was like a body. It was like totally gross. I was like, I'm not touching that. Take it away.
After it was investigated, right? It was taken away after it was investigated, right?
What do you mean? Investigated? You want me to look at that thing up close? No way. I took a photo. I'll do.
Can we have the photo?
I'm trying to decide whether
Please?
you can. Like, do we exist in a world where instant photographs exist, or has it been sent off to be developed? I'm not sure. I feel like it may be in development.
That's a good question.
I feel like I've been cheeky enough by having movies be a thing in this universe. So I'm gonna say, she says, no, where do you come from? It takes like a day at least. I've sent it to the lab. You can have it tomorrow at the court if you're a lawyer. I'm not sure.
It's so official.
I think you both need to roll persuasion, like you did so badly on your entrance.
Oh.
11? Okay.
Oh gosh.
She's sus.
I'm gonna give Griff a guidance on that one.
Okay. And Ida, you can roll persuasion as well. It may be different for you. We'll find
Okay,
out.
I'll give it to him. So.
Okay, that's a
I'm gonna give.
13.
Can I give Ida bardic inspiration on that persuasion to hopefully make up for my
Thank you.
mistakes?
And my mod's pretty good on that.
Okay.
Okay, so the persuasion.
Oh.
Oh wow, I don't think I need it.
You can hold on to it.
I'll hold on to that for a minute. So that's a 22.
Okay, she was a bit distracted by Griffin, understandably, with that entrance, and she's like, well, you're a sassy baka, but yeah, oh my god, girl, where did you get those? And she starts, like, floating around you and, like, holding parts of your clothing and is like, where did you get your head did? I need this.
Oh yeah, thanks. Aren't the highlights cool? I got them like right after I moved to the big city with Griff here.
Shut up, you're from the city.
No, I'm actually from the countryside, but we live in the city now.
Well, at least you can show me around when I go there, when I make it big, because I'm gonna, because Sasha was like, oh my god, you're such a layman, you're a princess, you don't have to do anything. I was like, excuse me, I'm gonna get a job, and then you're gonna eat those words. So look at me, I'm a detective now, so, eat it, Sasha. I'm so going to rub it in her face.
Ida kind of like exchanged a look with Griff, like, "Are we sure this girl is like a legit detective?"
As you say
Didn't
that,
it out
like
loud,
the
but she
badge on
kinda
her
gives
hat
Griff
kind
that
of.
look.
As you say that, the badge on her hat kind of like comes unstuck a little bit, and she like presses it to stick it back on. Anyway, you're kind of cute. What's your name?
Oh, I'm Ida Sliff, and this is Griffin Left. And
I
we're
don't-
actually Well, anyway, we're the legal team for Mr. Alibi Miohn-Rouls, and we're actually wondering if we could ask you a few questions about the crime scene and maybe look around if that's allowed.
oh, you're looking for the guy who did the murder. Isn't that kind of like a bummer?
Allegedly did the
Right,
murder.
allegedly.
Oh, allegedly. Well, what are those? And she holds up a see-through little plastic wallet, which has a few short orange hairs in it, which do look rather like certain clients' tail hairs. Yeah, is right. I'm going to go down there and take some samples from him and match it up, and it's totally going to be him, and I'm going to be the hero, and it'll be amazing.
But even his presence here doesn't. Even if our client was present here, that doesn't prove he's responsible for the death.
Blah blah blah. Save it for the judge. Yawn.
So where in the room did you find them? Was it inside the inner sanctum near the artifact?
That's confidential, and anyway, I don't know. Anyway, the police found them here, so that's just like, that's means it's legit. I'll find out later.
Aren't you the police?
I'm one person in the police. The police is corporation. Anyway, it's none of your business. And she puts it back in her pocket, like, kind of flustered. Like, she's very clearly new to this. Anyway, I suppose you've got some questions. And she poses and plumps some of her lumps. Her luscious lady lumps. Sorry, it's so bad. I'm having way too much fun with this voice.
I know, I love it.
Oh my god, it's nowhere near the original, but I do have a good time. But yes, if you have any questions,
It's pretty good.
and if you,
It's an impression.
oh, that's sweet. But also, if you have trouble understanding what I said and you need a translation, please just ask. I do understand.
So, Detective, can you tell us about the murder, what you think happened, what the murder weapon was, stuff like that?
That's Detective Princess to you.
Is that a name or a title?
Both, duh. And she looks at Ida like, what is this guy? Like, eye roll.
Right, seriously. She mutters back.
Anyway, so you were saying want to know what he got killed with, yeah.
That would be ideal, yes.
Well, wouldn't it? Because they didn't leave it, duh. They totally took it with them.
So the murder weapon wasn't left behind.
Sorry, you...
So you sent officers to look for it at, logical places like where he was staying, stuff like that?
Yeah. And she writes something down as if to do it later.
Okay. Another question. We know that High Priest Oni is one of the witnesses, but we heard there were two witnesses. Can you tell us who the other is?
Like I would. No. You're gonna have to roll persuasion.
Oh, come on, girlfriend. You can tell us.
Oh. Still gonna have to roll persuasion.
I'm just gonna help Ida on that one because
All right,
it
so
sounds like
you
Ida's
advantage
making
on that
more
one?
convincing case.
Yeah, her DC will be lower than Griffin.
So they... Right then. Okay.
Dear.
That's a 10. And an advantage because Griff is helping me, or?
I'm gonna be mean. I'm gonna be mean because I have to have some surprises for you at court. But you know, you can have a bardic inspiration.
Oh, right, my bardic inspiration. I can use that. Was that a D6 or D8?
It's a D8.
It is a D8.
Alrighty.
Ooh, if you get an 8. Oh, 16 is not
16.
bad. No, 16 is not bad. She looks kind of pouty in this sort of, you're my girlfriend, so I wouldn't tell everybody else this, but... Okay, I can't tell you their name, but they're, totally awesome. Everybody knows who they are, and I'm really excited. Oh my god. And she's like bouncing around in the air doing a little hand flap. And from this, you kind of get the impression that whoever this witness is they're like famous. They're like kind of a celebrity or something.
Ooh, there's someone famous.
Yeah, it's so juicy. Oh, I can't tell you. Oh, I'm so sad. I'm sorry, girl. You'll find out. It'll be amazing.
Come on,
You're gonna
Can
cry.
you just like give me a hint, please?
Oh, only because I love you. Okay, they're like really about justice and fighting for justice, and they're like my hero. And I can't believe I got to meet them. It's so cool. They were staying here as a guest, and it was like they were totally there and saw it, and it was like, wow.
Can I roll history to like see if we can figure out like who that might be based on this description?
Yes, you can, and I'm gonna give you advantage, and I will not tell you why.
Oh, I think I might know why.
Don't you dare
I
guess.
think I might know too.
Oh
Okay,
yes,
so
yes.
That's 1 and 2. Oh, not 20.
Okay,
Nice.
roll a-
In your
Oh, a
Nice.
19 and a 20 that I just rolled.
You cannot
so.
do better than that, man. You've got it. You've got it 100% as soon as as soon as the description of justice and doing justice and being really cool in your ears, you hear taiko drums, and there is only one person that you can think of. Yeah, it is the Bronze Bushido, who appeared mysteriously only a few years ago, maybe 3 years ago, and instead of like the original influence for this, this is not a character from a TV show. Oh no, the Bronze Bushido is a hero and goes around being a hero.
Okay, so what? So the moment Ida puts together who's his, she's just like gasp, like, the Bronze Bushido is here.
Yes! And you get a big hug from Bumpy Mata Princess, and she's like bouncing around with you, like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
How could this be happening again? Why is this case relevant again?
Yeah, Griffin, your sense of despair is probably very well placed because everybody loves the Bronze Bushido. Nobody knows who this robot hero is, but they just appear out of nowhere, kick ass, and like they're always on the side of truth, and they're like famous for being able to get people to confess to their crimes, and they're really shiny, and everybody loves something that's really shiny, and if they're a witness, you're kind of fucked. To put it very bluntly.
Ida has not like realized this part of it at all. She's just so thrilled because like she's the biggest Bronze Bushido fan ever. Like I don't know if there's merchandise of them, but like if there is, she absolutely has some.
I am sure it exists, whether it's official or not. There's totally bootleg Bronze Bushido t-shirts out there.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, you found out the identity of the second witness. Good luck with that.
Okay. So, out of character, have we met this guy based on prior cases that would have happened for us?
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say you met people dressing up as him.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because you have worked
Like
on a
may
TV
have defended an actor who plays them.
Yes, you have,
Yeah.
like, met them. But whether or not that TV studio ever got permission from the original is unknown. This is very much a sort of a Batman kind of guy. Like, no one knows who they actually are, if they are anything other than what they are. And they only appear occasionally. And there's not very many, like, pieces of footage or photographs of the actual guy and, like, things happening in real time. Because, like, he comes out of nowhere. And it's a big surprise when he does. And it's very, very cool. And he sort of leaves before anybody can really thank him. He is, like, a proper Bushido.
Right.
He's cool. So, like, you guys are, like, totally not gonna win. You could, like, quit now. I'm just, like, I don't want you to have to suffer this kind of humiliation.
Well,
I think it's at this point that Ida kind of sobers up and realizes that, oh yeah, this might be kind of bad. Sorry, you were saying?
Oh no, I was just gonna say I was just saying that's never stopped us before, but it's not important. Okay.
I mean, yeah, that's definitely gonna be make things kind of difficult. But hey, I mean, we're still gonna try, right? I mean, somebody's got to
course.
defend him.
Yeah, that's our job. We have to believe in our client, even if no one else does. Besides,
Yeah.
we know he's not lying. We have multiple reasons for knowing that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make her roll insight on you two, which is gonna be hilarious because she has a -3 to it. 2!
Yes, I do.
That's really good.
Good job, detective.
Yeah. She, alas, doesn't see the sincerity and doesn't understand what you're saying, and is like, are you guys, like, taking a bribe?
What? No, of course not.
Okay, sure, whatever you say, sis. And gives you a big elbow in the side. Is like, well, I guess it's only fair if you have some, like, information. So, like, you can ask me whatever you want to ask me.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch what you said.
I was saying in this voice, which is quite hard to understand, that you can totally ask her whatever you want to ask her, and she'll try and answer whether or not she can. You are also, like, in the crime scene,
right.
so, like, you can investigate.
Exactly. Yeah, next thing Ito's gonna ask is like, can we investigate the crime scene?
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, totally, bestie. You can totally do that.
Alright.
Yeah.
Alright, let's head in.
Mm-hmm. So you have the original photograph, but as you can see, there is not a lot to see. But you can roll investigate, perception, whatever you like.
Alrighty.
Investigations. Best of those. Alright, that's not bad.
Another nat 20!
that's
Holy
good.
cow!
Very nice. Okay.
It is rolling.
Mm-hmm. Griffin, you
I mean,
really
Edith's
do.
besties with the detective now, so like
Yeah.
he's probably like helping her. So.
Absolutely. Griffin, you're not so esteemed by your detective, so helpful as she is. So she, like, ignores you, basically, while you're going over the place with a fine-tooth comb and finding absolutely nothing. Because, again, this place was, like, you feel like it was awash with water. I will say for a 16, you notice that there is a tide mark on the wall, showing that the water was higher than it is now, which is basically, like, it looks like someone's washed the floor, but you feel like it's actually been kind of partly full of water, and maybe they let the water out so that they could investigate the crime scene better, which is an incredibly stupid idea. Anyway, with your nat 20, you are linked arm in arm with the detective, and you're walking around, and there's basically nothing to see, but she's very chatty now. So you hear her basically telling you everything, and she's like, well, there was like some icky blood in the water, like here, but it's like super dilated from the water, and like this stupid limonol doesn't even work. Here, you can have it. And she gives you a bottle of spray of limonol spray.
Heck yeah.
But it's like colored busted, it doesn't show anything.
Out of character, because I remember from the games, like, you spray it, but then, like, don't you have to, like through special glasses or something to, like, see the spray? Is that how it works?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. You're starting to
Alright.
see what happened here.
Alright, so back in character. You know, I think I remember how this works. It's not just the spray. You need, like, special glasses or something to actually see the spray. Isn't that how it works? We worked with a couple of detectives before back home, so... You don't have those special glasses, do you?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, let me just hear it. And she reaches into her pocket and brings out a completely ordinary pair of sunglasses, not with like red lenses or anything, and puts them on and is like, yeah, oh yeah, I can tell it's it now. Oh yeah, there's like reactions and stuff. And she's like just walking into a wall because it's actually quite gloomy down there, so she can't see shit now. However, you know what
Oh,
you
boy.
are supposed to do.
Oh yeah. Well, if we don't have the glasses, then we can use our little stone, right?
You.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
I would also like you to just roll, intelligence on the situation and what you just said, because there's other things that you have.
All right. Okay. Let's see here.
Oh, 20.
Another nat 20. That's like my third nat 20. What the heck?
Yeah, I mean, you straight up look at Left, who is continuing to not be able to see anything, but the smaller amount of light that there is down here is glinting off his ruby badge.
Ah.
Asa mightily polishes it. What are you looking at, Ida?
She gets like a little light bulb
Ida?
and stuff like, Griff, I need to see your badge for a sec.
Okay, but be very careful with it, alright?
Yeah, of course.
Why?
Got it. And she'll take the badge and she'll look through the badge around at the crime scene.
You do so, and what you see is this. Through the red haze of this very small stone, but it is perfectly clear, you can see some luminal reactions.
All right. Aha! I found it.
Do
And she'll hand it back to Griff to like let him take a look.
Okay, I get it now. Okay, that's really smart. Okay. So there's blood in the water. Why is that one spot separate from the rest?
Yeah, that one looks like really kind of concentrated too.
Mysteries abound.
Right. Do you want to roll another investigation like on that particular spot? The really concentrated one?
I will say that you won't be able to discern anything further than what you've discovered. So, yeah, the others on the left seem more smeared, and you might deduce that, yeah, there was some water interference with those. Whereas the other one, you know, it's apart from them, and it seems more concentrated, but you really can't tell. There is a lot of water damage to the evidence in this room. But, yeah, you managed to figure that out, so good girl. Like, big cookie for you.
Yay. So there's the really concentrated bit there, and it's not all smudgy like the other one. I wonder where the water came in here, because maybe some of the blood got left before it got all wet?
That didn't make sense. Detective, do you know the schedule of the tides here?
Huh? What? And she's, like, still on the other side of the room, like, facing a black wall. Just, like, completely clueless about what you guys have found. And she turns around
You
and
just,
is
like, kind of gently, like, take her arm and, like, lead her over. Yeah.
What is that?
We wanted to know about all the water in here, like, how it got in here.
Oh, it's, like, always in here, and it's, like, super gross, and I was like, I've got this fresh as hell coat, I'm not getting it wet, I want you to drain this room.
You float.
Yeah, but it's, like,
You
lush.
can float over.
I'm not getting wet for anybody, I don't care who you are, even if you're dead. Like, ew, I'm not doing that. It's made, look.
Okay.
At this point, you can notice there. Water. Yeah, you notice like in the corners of the room there are grates, and it's kind of an interesting system because this is subterranean. So there is naturally water in here, but it kind of has to be pumped out. Like there is a way to do that. So yeah. She came down here, was like, oh, there's a body, get rid of it, and oh, there's water everywhere, get rid of it! And they did, which is so stupid.
Detective Princess, can you tell us where the body was before you moved it?
Oh, yeah, sure, it's over there. And she demonstrates by lying down on the floor where the body was. She lies down, face down, on the patch where, you know, she can't see it, but where the smeary reaction is over on the left there. Like, her head is towards the left of the screen. Her legs, question mark, are like towards where the center of the room is. She's like, it's like this. It's gross.
Okay.
Can I get up now?
All right. Yeah, you can. Thanks.
Yeah. Anyway, he was face down, so, like, I guess he drowned after someone hit him over the head.
If only there were a way to know whether it was the blunt force trauma or the drowning that killed him. If only there were some sort of report that could be made.
Yeah, that would be really useful. She says this with zero irony. She has no idea what you're saying. Oh, but you know what? I heard something.
What did you hear?
Ooh, dish girl, tell us.
Oh, I'm gonna dish it. Here's the tea. So apparently, when the priestess found him, and it was like that big priestess, like, damn, I might have crushed. Oh, she's so pretty. But when she found him, she like tried to cast a revive spell on the body, but it failed. So like maybe the temple is like totally cursed or something.
Yeah, we were wondering about that too.
Right? Spooky.
Yeah, actually. Oh, no, I don't know. Oh, I do. That's actually a good question. Maybe I can. Okay, I don't actually know how to justify this in game, but I'd like to cast Detect Magic.
Yeah,
good idea.
Absolutely, you can detect cast magic. I mean, you can detect cast magic. The hell? You can do what
job,
you said
bud.
you
Good
would
job.
do. You can tell I'm running out of steam here. Oh dear. Like, time for chocolate. Okay, you do that. You do that. Do you have to roll for anything, or do you just make it happen?
Detect Magic. For the duration, you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creatures or object in the area that bears this magic, and you learn to school of magic. The spell can penetrate most barriers, but is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
Cool. You don't see shit, but you do get a reading off the stone that's in Ida's pocket. And again, it appears to be trying to tell you something. But basically, I'll give you more than that, though, because it's a really cool spell. You feel like there's a sort of trace in the air, like there was magic here, but it's not anymore.
Huh. Ida, try using the stone again. It seems to be sort of pulsing with magic a little bit.
Oh, yeah, right, of course. And she'll take the stone out and she'll look around.
And because you said, like, this spell can help you detect the kind of magic, I'm afraid I'm not great at remembering, like, the official D&D kind of magic, but this is definitely a sort of temporal-based magic. So it's to do with time.
Ooh. Heckin' chronomancy, man.
Oh yeah, that is a thing now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so are you getting your stone?
Yeah, she takes out the stone and she looks through the hole.
Okay. I'm going to say, just for the convenience of plot, your good friend the detective gets bored and says, well, you two have fun. I've, like, found everything. So, like, I say, caught, best day. Okay, bye. And she just leaves. She just fucking leaves you.
Laters.
Bye.
Two objects important to this case, and you found neither of them.
She says, what? Did you say something? And no, it was you, so it can't be anything important. Ah, bam! And that's the last thing you hear. Anyway, you look through the stone, and you see...
Whoa. Yeah, Yeah, when Eda sees that, she kind of like stumbles back a little bit because that's like, oh wow, a dead body.
Yeah, you actually see a body.
Ugh. Yeah, she's just gonna hand that over to Griff because you dead bodies. I mean, she's probably used to that by now, unfortunately, but like still.
Mm-hmm.
Griff is actually gonna look at this and say, "Hey, isn't that the eye? Why would it still be here when the body was here? It doesn't look like there's anyone else."
Okay.
Yeah, that's weird.
This is a sort of an intelligence or a sort of deduction roll. So you could roll insight as well as intelligence, that sort of a thing. You're trying to figure out what the heck you're looking at here.
Yeah, insight would be better for me. So let's see.
Which is okay. My intelligence is +2 and my insight is +2, so I'll just roll +2.
All right, I got a 16.
Oh, an 8.
I got an 8.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Is there anything you want to add to that? Does Kit get bardic inspiration from someone, or?
I already used my bardic earlier, but I can throw
Oh.
guidance on there if you're cool with that.
I would be.
Actually, I'll use a lucky. I'll use a luck.
Okay.
Cool again.
Here we go. Let's get lucky, guys. We are up all night to get not
Right.
lucky.
Yeah,
That's a
not a luck.
oh, that's a shame.
Oh no, the one is me. That's a D4. That was to add to mine, so mine's a 17 now.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah,
mine's a
13 and 17. Yeah, okay. I think, yeah, Griffin, you're just kind of trying too hard. Like, too hard. You're just looking at everything as it is, and what's that over there, and is there anything different in this than I can see in the room at present? And wait a minute, isn't that different from what that person said? But, you know, you're looking at it and trying to figure out what this artifact is doing. Because you've had experience with these kind of things before, right? Like, it's kind of magical and kind of spiritual in its own sort of way. And
Yeah.
you realise
Makes sense.
that, you know, what you were told by the incredible Mr. Hat was that this stone shows you what was, but is not. That's an incredibly broad category. What this stone is showing you is not necessarily one scene in time. It is showing you things that were, but are not.
Huh. You know, I'm kind of wondering. The stone is there, but I'm wondering when it disappeared exactly. Because I mean, obviously it was there at some point, but I mean, it's kind of vague, like when it shows when stuff was here. So we don't really know the exact time it was stolen, and I don't really know how many people come down here. You think it could have gotten stolen earlier than when the crime happened?
I mean, it's possible, isn't it? Or,
Yeah.
I mean, it's also possible that it happened later. Someone wanted wanted Mr. Ito dead, and then someone else decided, hey, free holy relic. But that seems less likely. So,
Yeah.
Just to give you a little bit of help, I would like you both to
Like what-
roll investigation, just to deduce the things in this picture, because I worry that sometimes details are a little fine and you might not spot them.
That's alright.
all right.
Investigation.
Whoa, there it is. There's your good roll, Griff.
Oh.
Ooh, baby.
Oh, nice. I got a 23 too.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, sames.
You're both
High five,
focusing
yeah.
so hard on this, and you know I don't want to play the game for you, so I would like you to say what you can see, and then if you've missed anything, I'll tell you.
Alright. So in the middle, I kind of see like some kind of like shattered thingy. It looks like broken glass almost. It's like slightly below the doorway.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, does that look like it could be the eye broken?
Yeah. We're gonna focus in on that little spot. So.
Okay, indeed, that was the thing I was worried you wouldn't spot. So in the
Yeah, it is a little bit small, but yeah.
yeah, interestingly, this collection of what appeared to be clear, like completely clear crystal shards, it's in a spot that you might have noticed before, because this is where that second luminol reaction was. And it's very hard to tell what these are. You don't think this would make an entire sphere, but you don't know what these pieces have come from. It's actually, even, you know, on close scrutiny looking through this, it's actually really hard to see them. And you also notice, because you're looking through this, that the water is in this image. So the water is one of the things that was, but is not. So it's kind of like, you don't know if the water was there when these glass shards were there, but if the water was there, it would have been very, very difficult to see them.
So if the shards were there and the water was there, then somebody might have missed them. Can't really confirm if this was the orb or not, but if it was, then maybe it shattered and hit someone. You don't think the orb could have been the murder weapon, do you?
I mean, there's a blood stain there too, so it seems likely that whatever those shards is the murder weapon.
I wish I could tell you answers to these questions, but I'm not allowed to because that's part of the game.
That's alright, no, we're just kind of like theorizing right now.
Yeah,
so.
no, I'm loving it. I'm just going to sit here and let you guys freewheel.
If the water was there, would the murderer have been able to get all the pieces and take them away?
Yeah, maybe they only took a few of the pieces?
Which leads me to wonder, but if in that case, they're not here now, so where did they go? The murderer didn't take them.
Yeah, they definitely didn't find them on Mr. Miohn-Rouls, so that's out. And the real murderer might have them on their person.
Yeah, that'd make sense, but I mean, would that suggest the water wasn't? I don't know.
And I know Ida doesn't want to look at it, but
we haven't
there's
really
something
examined
else.
the body super close yet.
Yeah, there's a body. So
yeah, we haven't done that yet. That's kind of the obvious thing.
You have a look at the body, and just going off those investigation rolls, I'm going to use that as your intelligence, because you used that to roll. This is different from the reenactment that the detective showed you. This body is not face down, and is not facing in the direction that she was facing.
Sure is.
Yeah.
It is very much a face-up body.
Do you think someone
that
might
his head
have...
is kind of sticking up?
Yeah, that's. I'm gonna just give you this for
sorry.
free. Because there's water there, you can tell that, you know, this body was definitely in the water when the water was there, because a body without water would not float slightly. So, you know, that hand is slightly floating, his head is slightly floating, and his legs. Like, basically it's just part of the torso that's kind of touching the ground. And he's wearing this very simple sort of robe. It kind of looks like a nightgown or something. The sleeves are kind of rucked up, which seems a bit unnatural. You know, you remember the priestess's robe went all the way to her arms, and was, you know, designed to be like that. So this looks a little bit strange.
It looks to me like someone must have tampered with the crime scene after the murderer left.
Do you think so?
I don't know. It just seems like someone moved the body and took the shards away after the water was gone, but when the body was killed, the water was there. If that makes sense.
Yeah, unless, like, the body was, like, because the bloodstain is a little bit far away from, like, where the water, where, like, all the smeary blood is. So, what if they got killed where their head was, like, over there, and that's where the bloodstain is, and then the water came in, and that's why they kind of floated? Because, I mean, the water would wash away, like, a lot of the blood, so...
That's true, but the detective said he was found face down and facing a direction.
I will also repeat the fact
the
that...
other way, so somebody must have flipped the body.
I will also repeat the fact that the detective found a room full of water, and there was a body at the same time, and that was Epigraios. So the water was there when she found the body, and the body was there when she found the body.
Okay.
So those two were, in fact, intact before she destroyed the crime scene.
Right. So she did. So the water was there, and the body was face down when she found it. But this is showing us the body lying face up, and with arm kind of like that.
Yeah,
I'll
and
say
I just,
you can't see it from this angle, I'm sorry. But you can see the injury to the body because you're starting to figure out that this stone also shows you objects, not necessarily living things, because otherwise you would constantly be seeing, like, people. Because people move all over the place, and they were and aren't now, and that would be just kind of crazy to keep track of. In fact, you're not absolutely sure that the stone isn't showing you that, but because there's just so much information moving so quickly, it just wouldn't register. As a mortal being, you can't
Right.
do that. It's just too much to process. So you're seeing things that are objects. So this stone shows you the body as a body, but it isn't showing you the murder. It doesn't show you what happened.
Right, makes sense.
Also, that would be way too easy.
but I mean,
Of course.
That would be so easy.
at least this kind of seems to suggest that he didn't drown because his, mouth and nose are above water.
I started trying to tell you something and then moved on to something else. Sorry. The top of the head, you can see the top of the head, and that appears to be, it is bloodied. You can see that there was an impact there. Basically, like, as your very helpful policeman said, it's a bonkers of the conkers, but directly on the top of the dome.
Right. So that means that the person would have had to be, I guess, tall enough to hit them on top of the head if it's, like, right on top, right?
Well, or able to fly.
That's true.
Uh,
Or jump really high.
yeah. Or, I mean, they could have thrown it, technically.
True. That would be pretty good aim to be able to hit them right on top of the noggin, though.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Alright.
Anything else in this room you'd like to have a closer look at?
I'm not seeing anything, like, significant, aside from, like, maybe taking a closer look at where the orb used to be, but...
Yeah, you can have a look at that. I'll say I haven't drawn anything else. But you have a closer look at the stone if you would like.
Okay, yeah, we'll take a closer look at where the stone used to be.
Okay, it's a fairly, not to be cruel, considering it was a religious sacred artifact, but it looks kind of boring. Like, it's just completely clear. And that in itself is the remarkable thing about it, because if you've ever encountered rock crystal, which this is a sort of, it's actually very, very hard to find rock crystal that isn't, kind of translucent as opposed to transparent. And this isn't made of glass. It is made of a natural stone, which is completely see-through. And it's beautiful, but it's very unmarked, just as it is. And yeah, it exudes a soft sort of cyan light, and you presume that this is a physical manifestation of the power of truth, that it's been imbued with, like, over many years of people seeing it as a representation of truth because of its clarity. That's why it was revered when they found it.
Yes, that makes sense.
I do my best. Okay.
Right.
I'm going to say there
Now I know what the
isn't...
crystal look like.
Yeah, there isn't much else to see through the stone. In fact, I will just say there
I was
isn't
gonna say
anything
one
else.
last thing would be, like, because now we know that the crystal, now that we know that the crystal is, like, so, like, perfectly clear, we could, like, examine the shards again to, like, see if, like, they're as perfectly clear as the crystal.
Yeah, sure. You go back to those little shards, and again, it's really hard. Like, when you've broken something, that introduces facets, that introduces flaws. It's actually really difficult to tell whether these came from that same sphere or if they were introduced to the environment from something else. It's a real tragedy that there is no physical evidence here, and I remind you again, the real tragedy of this stone is you can't present any of this in court. You just know it.
Exactly.
It would actually make sense if the stone was broken. That would explain why the truth power isn't here anymore.
Yes.
Yeah,
Good.
because, like, somebody just holding onto the stone, the zone would kind of be just all around still, just move to the left a little bit.
And that is something you can present as a sort of evidence. So keep that in mind.
All right.
Good.
All right.
Good brownie
Making a
points
note
all
of
around.
that.
Well done. There is one more thing
Yeah.
that you can do, and just to help you out, your detective comes back and says, "Oh my god, I'm so stupid. I totally forgot to dust for Prince."
Oh, right, of course, Prince. All right.
You guys want
Good
to help
idea.
me?
You want any help with that?
Yes!
Yeah, girl,
Look at
let's help
this
you out.
place! It's like soaking wet. It's going to be a nightmare. And she gives you both a little powder puff, and it's not like an official detective thing. Like, it is aluminium powder, but it's like in a sort of blush folding, like with a compact mirror. It's very much makeup. And she's like, here's one for you, here's one for you. Oh no, I have another one. That was just my one on my spare. You'll have to do it for me.
Alright.
Okay.
All right.
This is purely a
All
matter of diligence, and this is you're gonna do it. You're gonna like cover the entire room, but I want you guys to roll like a wisdom save, just cause you have to go at this for a long time.
Griffin would also want to just dust the ladder for Prince while they're at it.
Sure, you can
That's
do
good.
that. You can do that.
All right. Yeah. Cut to the both of us tapping the screen over and over, just puff, 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 puff.
Why have you got a ladder?
'Cause let's face it.
Oh, is it just a wisdom check?
It's
I
either
did it. It was a check, right?
I'll give you check if you've got an advantage in
Actually,
save.
my save is higher, so
Okay, we'll just add what
if
your
it's a save, then it's
what
okay.
was
Yeah,
the
if it's a
bonus?
save for me, then that's a 13.
Okay,
so.
that's a 13. And Samaranth, do you have a bonus if it's a save?
No, it's still -1.
Oh, bummer.
Aw.
Okay. I mean, that feels about right, really, because like you're not dying, but you're not happy. You go over this entire room, you go over the entire ladder, you don't find anything, especially not on the ladder because it's been in a pond. You found it in the pond, so that's a bit of a bummer. When you get to like the place where the orb was, there are some prints, but you find like kind of a number of them. None of them are on file, like, and then you sort of think this artifact has been here for a very, very long time, and it has been attended to by monks over time. In fact, you do find Mr. Oh, for God's sake, what's his actual name? I keep forgetting. It's terrible. Shib-Ito.
Mr. Ito?
You find Mr. Shib-Ito's fingerprints there, but you know, just from where they are, they appear to be placed in the front, like in an act of reverence. You feel like this is something traditional, like people come here and pray to the object by touching the stand, but not the orb. And you feel like none of these are actually particularly relevant. It's a shame, but like these are just artifacts from history in themselves. And yeah, it appears that whoever did this either didn't touch anything or they were wearing gloves. And that's just how it be. And your detective says, thank you. I was like, I'm sure there's none, but I really don't want to do it. And then you did it for me. You're like the best guys. And she gives you a 2-armed hug. And it's just like, okay, love you, bye. And she goes back up the stairs and leaves you.
I mean, does Mr. Miohn-Rouls even have fingerprints?
That's a wonderful question. I'm so proud of you. I want to give you another inspiration point, and you will have to be using these, because you got the court case next time! And I think this is actually a really good place.
Saving this.
This is a good place to leave it, because I'm going to give that to you for free. Mr. Griffin Left, you just deduced that your client effectively does have no fingerprints because he's a goose, and he's got those weird feathery fingers that they all have. There are no ridges on those fingers, and this partly adds into his disguise of them being gloves.
Yeah, I will say we don't know he's a goose. We just know he's some kind of bird. So.
Oh, that's true. What goose? I didn't say anything about a goose. Did you say anything about a goose?
Goose, what goose? We don't know a goose.
It's a wild goose chase. Okay, I think that's a really good place to leave it because, yeah, then we can just start the next game with you going into court. Would that be okay with you
Alright.
guys?
Yeah, I'm cool with it. We
sounds
found
good.
everything, then
Okay.
yeah.
No last minute questions you've thought of to ask the priestess or the detective or the policeman.
Yeah,
I
nothing I
mean-
can think of.
You could just ask them if they did it to see if we get a Magatama reaction.
One by one, I shall say what the reaction would be. The detective gives you a slap. The high priestess gives you a look which would like make you feel like the floor was eating you, even like you wish it would be, but it kind of just feels like it is. And the policeman arrests you. So
See, I was gonna say he just like smacks us with a baton. But
no, he's not gonna have that, man. So probably just as well you didn't bother. Okay, well, I think this about wraps it up. I know this was a short tea, but I think it was good, and we'll see you all next time
That's all
because
good.
it's actual shouting objection time in court next time. You get to meet Judge Judgington. Yes, that's his name. My favourite character in the Ace Attorney games. Love him.
Heck yeah.
Yes. And yeah, you're gonna have to deal with witnesses on the stand. So enjoy that and meeting your
You
prosecutor.
get to cross-examine.
Yes, you get to cross-examine.
Yay.
Alas, there are no parrots in this case. I'm sorry.
Aw, man.
I know.
I mean, we got one bird, so at least that's something.
It's true. Okay, well, if that's all, thank you very much for playing. You guys are incredibly productive. Like, just damn, you go at it. It's very impressive to me. Thank you.
Yeah.
You get stuff done.
Thank you. This was really fun.
Oh,
Yeah, this was so good.
I'm so
I love
glad.
doing investigation stuff like this. It's always so fun.
Me too. Ah. Oh, okay, well, yeah, thank you very much. If you'd like to say goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
And we'll see you all next time
See
in
ya
part
next time.
3. And maybe I'll have drawn a new background because I was very lazy with this one and just used the first one. Okay. See you then. Goodbye.